Do you think there's an appetite within President Assad government now, a real appetite for change and reform, a real chance to turn this into a much more democratic country?
Absolutely, because there's no other way forward, really. Everybody now, both the opposition and the government, recognize that the country is at stake, and there's no other way except to go forward. And in fact, this would be very good for our country and for our people, this march towards democracy, where political parties will compete, where young men and women will participate in the political life. We look forward to a very different era of Syrian history.
Once again, in welcoming the talks, the United States, as with Britain, has condemned the violence and the government's role in this. It is clearly a concern for the rest of the world.
It is definitely a huge concern for us, and we condemn the violence, but they should condemn also the killing of our military people, of our armed people, of our police. Until now, over 500 military and police personnel have been killed by militant groups. I must admit, it is a very complicated issue, this in Syria. It's probably the most difficult issue, because personally I feel there is an organized group, most likely religious extremists, who are conducting assassinations and killings. And when you have a violent atmosphere, collateral damage happens also. So we hope that by conducting and hastening the national dialogue, we will be able to isolate any militant or violent group and work together with the international community to be able to overcome that big problem.
Since we've arrived, the government has stressed time and time again that they believed armed gangs of extremists are behind the violence, and yet clearly they do not account for the majority of peaceful demonstrators on the streets who really are calling for change. Will you continue to allow them to gather peacefully to express the need for change?
Well, I will tell you, last Friday, while you were here, thousands of people went out on demonstration in Aleppo, in Deir ez-Zor, in Al-Qamishli, peacefully, and went back home, and there was no problem. Last night there were thousands of people in Hama. We have no problem at all with peaceful demonstrations.
But we must be allowed to go and film them, to see them with our own eyes.
Absolutely.
I think this is key.
You can go to Hama, you can go anywhere you like. There's no problem. The only problem is that you go, it's your own decision, and we can't guarantee safety. We can't guarantee our own safety, but if you want to go, you would be most welcome.
But I feel we must hear the different sides of the story here, to see with our own eyes, to see whether there are armed gangs. We've certainly had no evidence of that.
I hope you will only see them and you will not be hurt by them, because last night colleagues were traveling to Aleppo, their cars were burned, they were beaten on the road between Aleppo and Homs. I mean, we don't want to exaggerate that, because that's bad for us, that's bad for our economy, that's bad for our people. And we really hope we'll be able to handle this problem with the help of anybody who can help us, and handle peaceful demonstrations we have no problem with. National dialogue is going to go way beyond what all demonstrations are asking for.
But the peaceful demonstrators out in the streets, and there clearly are many, it's difficult to put a number on it, are they going to be included in peace talks? Because at the moment they haven't been talked to by the government.
The problem is that to know who are the leaders of these people, and we've been actually asking and inquiring who are the leaders of these people to invite them. And we put it yesterday on television that the National Dialogue welcomes all representatives of intellectual, political, social activities in the country. So, you know, it's not easy, but we're trying our best to find out, because it's in our interest to find the leaders of these people on the street, see what they want, address it, handle it, and, you know, put it behind us.